Dear family, friends, and subscribers, I am pleased to announce the rollout of a novel entitled The Iran Imperative. The book is written by my friend who writes under the pen name of Lawrence Atelier. I had the honor of recording the book launch in front of 30 people at a local bookstore. Here are some of the highlights from the event in 5 minutes.
Please join me in welcoming Lawrence.
A covert plan by the United States to invade Iran and seize control of its rich oil reserves entangles an American archaeologist searching for the Ark of the Covenant and a Canadian college student on vacation. Rogue CIA agents and moles, the collective's agenda for a new world order, Freemasonry, and corruption at the highest level of government all play out in a dizzying tale of intrigue and deception in this riveting, high-octane thriller. As you immerse yourself in this story, you will find yourself asking the question, is this really a work of fiction, or is it a vision of things to come? It really started about 8 years ago when I started to run across various books and documents that kind of challenged the generally accepted rendition of historic events. Found some books that came up with other explanations of historic events, and they had the facts to back them up. And found them very interesting, and these books really opened my eyes to the fact that the world events, I found out, really are, for the most part, orchestrated by a small group of very wealthy, very influential, very powerful people. Basically, the claim that Iraq possessed weapons of mass destruction was just not true. The whole story was cooked up to justify the invasion of Iraq. Neither Don nor Marissa could squeak out a word. Now it was Dave's turn, and Dave was one of Frank's buddies in the CIA. What Frank is telling you is that wars are artificially created and controlled by some of the world's richest men so that they can become even richer and more powerful. They provision both sides of wars because they make more money that way. Wars are not meant to be won. They are an end to themselves. Simply put, wars are very profitable. Now, when it comes to lying, Frank continued, you'd be hard-pressed to beat the CIA. It should be called the CLA, the Central Lying Agency. We were all trained to lie. We were programmed in believing that it was okay to lie if it was in the best interest of your country. Ironically, when you walk through the front entrance to CIA headquarters in Langley, Virginia, you see a quote from the Bible inscribed in stone. The inscription reads, "And ye shall know the truth, and the truth shall set you free."
You said that the idea of the book, the topic of the book, it came to your mind in 2005.
Mm-hmm.
But in 2005, there was nobody talks about invasion.
Mm-hmm.
So how can you explain this?
Well, yeah, interesting. I guess you could call it a prophetic book. I guess one thing that helped me come up with the idea was I knew that the oil in Iraq was a key part of why the United States invaded Iraq. It wasn't weapons of mass destruction. It wasn't to try and find Osama bin Laden or, these are all just cover stories. But once I started digging around again on the internet, found out there was huge reserves of oil in Iraq. And the reserves didn't just end at the border with Iran. There's huge reserves of oil in Iran. And I figured, well, the United States has this agenda of seeing how many countries they can get under their control. And they're very hungry for oil. And if they went after the oil in Iraq, why wouldn't they go after the oil in Iran? It'd just be way too tempting. But sooner or later, they're going to want to get into Iran and take over Iran, just like they took over Iraq.
Okay.
And then the wheel started turning and thinking, well, how would they do that? So if you want to get a good book to find out the real truth of what's really going on, The Iran Imperative. It's available on Amazon.com. You can also find more information about the thing on my website, which is theiranImperative.com.